Hello and welcome. My name is Bitwise Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at balance and pacing in my indie game Lord of Dwarves. So let me load up my game here. So I've been working on Lord of Dwarves for quite some time now, and most of the features that I want in there are pretty much done. But one of the things that it needs some work on now is balance and pacing. And so I've been working on that a lot the last few months, and I just kind of wanted to show you some of the changes I've made along those lines. So here I just have a little castle that I built, and there's some soldiers that are training over here, and there's some workshops, some stairs, and if you look down the stairs you can see here's a storage area where I got all sorts of stuff stored. So this is just kind of a little demo terrain that I built in order to show off some of the features. So the first thing I'm going to look at is roads. So I'm going to swap out some of this dirt right here and grass and put in some paved roads. And what these will do is they'll allow the dwarves to move more quickly when they're on the roads. So normally when they're on grass or dirt or whatever, they move at a normal speed, but when they're on the road, they'll get a bonus speed. So if you put roads like to the well, I have this little well outside the castle here, and if there's a road to it, then they'll be able to get to it much more quickly. And you can see some of the stone is appearing right here, and that's because the dwarves actually have access to these blocks from underneath, so they're just constructing it from underneath. But some of the blocks near the well, they'll actually have to bring the brick over here to construct it. And if you notice, if you see them when they get on the stone, they go faster. So it's just a little bonus, and it kind of also encourages you to make your area look nice by putting roads everywhere or something that the dwarves like to walk on. So the next thing I'd like to take a look at is over here in the upper left, you can see there's this renown value and a population. So right now I have 50 dwarves in my kingdom, and I can have up to 51. As my renown goes up, the maximum population will go up. So here's my current renown, and then once the renown reaches this level, my population will increase. So you get more dwarves in your kingdom, which means more workers and more soldiers by increasing your renown. And you increase your renown just by gathering items of any type, or collecting items or crafting items. So, for example, one good way to do that is to come over here to this stone mason workshop, and I'm going to craft some statues. So let's craft 20 statues. And statues are going to create a lot of renown. They're decorative luxury items, which help you more than practical items. But everything gives you some renown. So I'm going to have my dwarf come, start building statues. And while I do that, I can show you some of the other pacing things that I have going. So right now, there's probably a dwarf down underneath. Oh, here he is. He's bringing up some stone to make this statue. He brought 3 stone, and now he's gone back to get some more. And you can... I just got a new dwarf. Now I'm at 51 out of 50, or 51 out of 51. Anyway, he's bringing up 20 stone in order to build that statue. Well, if the stone is all the way down here in my storage area, here's all the stone, he has to go down, pick up 3 stone, bring it up. Go down, pick up 3 stone, bring it up. So that takes forever. So, and that was kind of one of the pacing issues that I had. So what you can do is you can put another storage area right here, and I'm going to say, hey, just put soapstone in this area, and put the priority to high. And what that'll do is it'll tell the dwarves, hey, we want to fill up this storage area before any other storage area. And in addition to that, if there's stone in a lower priority area, they're going to grab it from here, which you can see they're all doing right now. Let me speed them up a little. And then they'll bring it to this high priority area. So now when all the stone is really close by, the craftsman, when he gets here, he'll just be able to grab it from right here and much more quickly craft his goods. So I've found this improvement of having priorities on your storage area has been a big boon to the pacing of the game. And also, I've allowed it so that dwarves can carry multiple items at a time. Previously they could only carry 1, but it was just too slow. There was too much work for them to do, and they just couldn't get it done. So here we go. We have our first statue, and that gave us a little boost to our renown. So I'm actually going to take that statue and place it at the front of the castle. So, which one did I make? Ah, he's someone actually is carrying that statue down to the storage area right now. Once he finishes carrying it, then it'll be available. There it is. So I'm going to place one right there, and another one right there for whenever they build, whenever he crafts that next one. And placing them will also give you a bonus to the renown that the feature gives you. So that's another way to get more renown, is to make your castle look nice and place lots of neat features and things like that, and that'll actually benefit you. So that's a feature I've been playing with that I've actually really enjoyed. So the next thing I wanted to show off is scaffolding. So this castle here is a castle that, you know, I built, and you build it block by block, or at least you order your dwarves to build it block by block. So I'm going to show you how that's done right here. I'm going to say, hey, put some granite out. You know, let's say I wanted to build a wall over here. Maybe I was going to extend my castle. So I'm just going to build a little tiny wall right like that. And so it's easy to specify lots of building tasks, but you have to wait for your dwarves to go grab the granite and construct each of these blocks. So that's not too bad, but as you can see, there's a bunch of blocks here that the dwarves can't reach. And so in order to get to these blocks, they're going to need scaffolding. So you can go grab some scaffolding and then place it. And previously, what I did is you would click and drag all that scaffolding, and now for every one of these pieces of scaffolding, you would have to craft that scaffolding, and then you have to emplace the scaffolding, and it was just tons of work, and it took the dwarves forever to craft and emplace every one of these. So what I've done now is scaffolding, when you put one scaffolding up, it'll build 3. This makes it much faster to fill up an area with scaffolding so your dwarves can reach it. And in fact, if you use better scaffolding, so I'm going to use some redwood scaffolding, instead of filling up 3, it'll fill up 6. And even better scaffolding, one piece of scaffolding will fill up all the way to 9. So once the dwarves go down and bring the scaffolding and put it in there, you'll see it'll instantly fill that whole thing up, which will make building this wall much faster. And you can see they're building the wall up as the scaffolding is emplaced around it. So this, again, this is another pacing issue that I found playing the game. Doing all this scaffolding was taking way too long, but being able to just use one piece of scaffolding to get a ton of benefit really speeds things up and just gives it a better feel for the pacing. Alright, so the next thing I'd like to look at is the health system. So previously I had a kind of novel but complex wound system where you could be wounded on your different body parts, you know, and you could have different severities of wounds. But really, as a player, you didn't really know what was going on. Your doctors fixed the wounds. There wasn't a lot of benefit to this complex system. So now I've been toying with a more classic health point system. So you can see these guys here. They have health points floating above their heads. The green ones are their actual base health, and then these gray ones are health provided by their armor. So you can see this guy right here, he has a bunch of wooden armor, which is only giving him 2 health points, and this guy has tin armor, which is the weakest of metal armor, and so that's giving him 3. The gray armor points, if they're injured there, those will recover quickly after battle, whereas if they get injured down to their green health points, then those have to be healed by a doctor, which is a much more slow process. You can also see above their heads there are these little shield icons, which they get from their shields, whatever shields they have. This guy has a buckler, this guy has a heater shield, so a bigger shield gives more shield icons. The shield icons will just flat out absorb 1 blow. So this guy can absorb 2 blows before it starts eating into his hit points, which can be a big boon when you're fighting a bunch of monsters. And the thing I've liked about this system a lot is when you go and you build an armor smith and you craft a bunch of armor, and then your warrior goes and equips that armor, you see immediately the benefit that he gets to that. And then when he goes into combat, you see immediately, as his hit points go down, the benefit that his armor is providing him. And so the feedback is much more instantaneous and much easier for the player to understand. So it has much better feel now. So I've been liking that. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is loot. And for that, I'm going to need some bad guys. So I'm going to wait for some bad guys to spawn, and I will be right back. Alright, welcome back. And here we have some orcs that have spawned. There's 2 little weak orcs and 1 orc that has some armor and more health innately. So these guys are probably just going to make a beeline right for my dwarves. So I'm going to make a little area and tell my soldiers, hey, go to this area to engage the incoming orcs. So here come the orcs, and here come my soldiers, and they're just kind of going to hang out here to engage the orcs when they get here. So what I've added is loot drops for the orcs. So mostly they of course they drop their weapons and their armor, which you can melt down or sell. But now they also drop coins, which you can use to trade in a workshop or in a market. And there goes 1 orc, and you can see here's some copper coins. This guy also drops some copper coins. And you can also see their little health. That guy actually died. But I think the rest of my dwarves should be able to take out this last guy. There we go. And he dropped a bunch of coins, copper coins, and even a silver coin. So you can use this to buy things in markets, or you can just keep it, because the coins, having hordes of coins, boosts your renown. And you can use that to increase the size of your kingdom. So previously they just kind of dropped their weapons, but now they're dropping loot, they drop some meat, and then they drop some special items, have a small chance to drop rare or special items. And I found this is much more rewarding, because now when bad guys come, before you were just defending them so that your guys didn't, or your dwarves weren't killed, but now you actually get some benefit to killing them. You get a monetary reward that you can use. And again, having that reward kind of makes the combat feel even better. So again, that's another sort of balance thing that I have been enjoying. So that's about it. That's everything I had to show. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. And have a good day.